Hello, everyone. I wanted to share some updates about my YouTube channel. Just about 5 months ago, I started posting on YouTube every single day. The idea was that I wanted to get better at limited MTG quickly, and I thought it would be cool if I could bring a community of improvers along with me by posting my improvement journey to YouTube. I decided to do it every single day for a few reasons. I mean, one is that I have a personality type where if I just say I want to do this as much as possible, realistically, it's never going to happen. I kind of need that commitment to myself that it has to happen every single day if I'm going to work on it every single day. But also, I really wanted to accelerate the process of figuring out if there is a niche here, if people really did want to get better at limited with me. And if so, what format of video would kind of most appeal to people and most help them out? I started for a long time just posting daily draft videos, but I quickly noticed that special events like Arena Directs were an area where people felt more good gameplay could really be useful in improving their game. Once I noticed that, I started thinking, well, it's not just about the gameplay. I actually do a lot of prep that sets me up to succeed in those events. One of the things that I do is do some sealed runs in the days before the Arena Direct unlocks. So maybe I should share some of those sealed runs. And I noticed that people thought that was a good idea, and there was some interest in it. But the first time when I really felt like I had unlocked a realization was when I started sharing the data that I review before I pay a lot of gems to join an event or play a competitive in-person tournament. And not only did people seem interested in that, that actually was when I realized I think I'm sharing something that genuinely could make the community better efficiently. Because I pull together all of these data, not just for Arena Directs, but also just over the course of a draft format being out on Arena. And most people don't have time to comb through that much data. And also, frankly, it's less fun than just playing drafts. So if I compile those into a video format and put it on YouTube, it can efficiently point people in the correct direction without all of us having to independently duplicate those efforts. So that was all well and good, but I was actually still barely on track for my goals for the year. You see, I've said this before, but my goal for the year was if by posting every single day, I could get about 500 subscribers, then I would feel like I had found the niche where there was at least some core of a community that was interested in getting better at Magic with me, and like I had found an ingredient for helping those people get better. Not that I was pursuing subs for the sake of subs, but just that would be a signal about whether I had actually stumbled across a recipe that could really help people get better at limited. So I was somewhere on track to get there by the end of the year, but I still felt like I had to find something different in order to really hit my goal and feel like I could reassess. Because obviously there's a first experimental phase where you're trying to find the thing that's going to help people get better. And then once you've found the thing that helps people get better, you just want to do as much of that as possible. Well, a few weeks ago, I think that I finally did find it. So about 3 weeks ago, I posted this video using data to predict which cards were most likely to be underdrafted in Secrets of Strixhaven before the set had even come out. What I did was I just took the data on which cards have been underdrafted in consistently across past sets, and then I looked for recurring features among those cards. And then I looked at cards in Strixhaven that had those features to predict that they would be likely to be underdrafted. That was my most successful video ever, not just in views or subscribers or whatever, but in terms of the main metric that I care about, people saying that it actually helped them improve. The next day, I did a video on cards that people would be likely to overdraft using the same exact kind of data analysis. And again, there was a similar kind of response. Then I used data to give some tips on how you could win and hopefully have some more fun at pre-release. Then I did some viewer draft analysis where I went over viewers' drafts for them and gave them feedback on them. And these are all basically consistently my most successful and I think my most useful to the community videos ever. Then I posted some daily draft videos after that. It was like basically pretty fine, pretty respectable, but more closer to sort of the old patterns, feeling like maybe I'm helping people incrementally, but it doesn't feel like I'm helping anyone step up their game noticeably. And then I went right back to data videos and viewer draft reviews. And once again, like clockwork, one after another, people were telling me that these data videos were genuinely helpful to them. And this has happened pretty much consistently. Every time I do one of these effortful data deep dive videos, I get a good number of people saying that this is actually like genuinely useful to them. And I love doing draft videos as well, but those are clearly operating on another level. On one of these recent videos, the most liked comment was from someone saying that data analysis videos are giving them something that they don't get other places, but that they recognize it's more effort to produce one. And they said specifically, I'd rather have 3 weekly data videos rather than 5 drafts and 2 data videos. And I've heard many different echoes of this sort of comment from many different signals. Speaking of signals, the whole point of me posting every day was to throw spaghetti at the wall, to just figure out what is that thing that's going to be useful to people. I wanted to figure that out as quickly as possible. How do I up my limited game, and how do I help you up your limited game? And once I started seeing that feedback from all these different directions, kind of felt like the question had been asked and answered. Now, if you love watching draft gameplay, don't worry. I'm not going to stop doing it. But the reality is, you can't do 7 useful data videos a week. They just take too many hours to put together, and the data don't move quickly enough to have a different useful thing to say every day. Also, my life is busy enough. I have a full-time job and friends and family and all sorts of things going on. It's proven very difficult for me to do multiple data deep dives or even one data deep dive every week, and then also do an hour and a half to 2 hours of recording draft gameplay every single day. Something has to give, and it turns out the data videos are what people really want prioritized. So here's what I'm thinking right now, and I really do want to hear your feedback, please, in the comments of this video or in my Discord. First, in order to make sure that I'm giving you high quality, effortful, informative, always accurate and meticulously fact-checked data informed takes on what's going on in Limited, I'm going to drop from 1 video every day to just posting on weekdays. So I will still do 5 videos a week, almost always on Monday to Friday. Now, some weekends, there are special events that you can only play on the weekend. This is especially true of Arena Directs, Limited Championship Qualifiers, Arena Opens. On those weeks, I'll make sure to play those special events if I have time. But I may sometimes shift from like a Friday video to a Saturday video if doing the extra video just isn't really in the cards that week. But I will still play those weekend events. It's just that my main bread and butter videos are going to go up Monday to Friday. I am not going to spend any less time recording videos for you. So every minute that's freed up by reducing my number of videos posted by 2 will be spent recording a data deep dive video. I'm going to do at least one every week. This week, it's going to be about the Arena Direct because we do have an Arena Direct on the weekend. But weeks where there isn't a special event, I'll make it either a video like my signals reading video that's about a general draft topic, or a video like my How to Win More at Strixhaven with Data video, which is about what the data are saying about the current set. I'm also still going to be experimental. I'm going to try to sprinkle into those Monday to Friday draft videos. Most of them will still be draft gameplay, but I'm going to try to sprinkle in some sealed because actually right now, if you want to play in tournaments in Limited, it might even be more important to be good at sealed than to be good at draft. So I really want to be practicing more sealed, and I want to encourage the community to practice sealed more. And actually, I may post, don't be scared off if you're a limited only player. I may post a little bit of standard in the near future because I actually have to prep for a regional championship, and I have not played standard in a tournament since Friday Night Magic in 2009, I believe. So I have some catching up to do, and I might record some of that and put that on YouTube. But obviously, we're still a limited focused channel. This change is actually partly motivated by a newsletter sent to me by YouTube on my April month in review, how my channel did in April. One thing that they show you is how many new uploads you made, and they told me I uploaded 34 videos last month. And they said, wow, great work. Remember to keep in mind your well-being and establish a sustainable schedule for you. When YouTube is telling you that you might be uploading too much to YouTube, probably you should listen. But I also want to point out, and it says it right here, the reason that I get to think about this and talk about this now and make this change now is because 1 month ago, I was sitting at 100-ish subs and really not sure if I would ever get to the place where I felt like I had learned what would help people get better at Limited so that I could just double down on that. And because of all of the support, all of the views, but particularly all of the new subscribers, and really all of the comments telling me when something made a difference, when something actually worked for you, when you won your first box, when you started converting gems into wins at the draft table, when you went to Friday Night Magic and felt like you didn't just have no idea what to do, have no idea how to really build your deck, and kind of fall like a house of cards, but actually felt confident in your understanding of the set, at least confident enough to participate, notch some game wins, notch some match wins, and feel like you had a good, successful evening. Comments where you told me that seeing the data totally changed how you were going to be approaching packs, and then replies where you came back to that comment and told me a week later that you got your first trophy of the set because of it. And yes, comments where you told me the data videos are the thing that is really useful to you, and draft gameplay is fun, but it's not the secret sauce that's going to kick your game up to the next level. The fact that you shared all of this is why I was able to step back and say, okay, what change do I have to make in order to give you more of that tomorrow? And just like we always say about Limited, to get better at offering you that tomorrow than I am today. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm really, really excited for this change. I think even though I'm going to be putting fewer videos out there, it's going to let me invest more in the quality of every single video. And hopefully it'll just make us all better at Magic even faster. So I'll see you every Monday to Friday from now on, and sometimes on weekends. Until tomorrow, have tons of fun playing Magic, and don't be afraid to splash.